Hello. So look, I realise it's been a while. I was going to do a 12-month update and I just never got round to it. So apologies for anyone who's been curious about what's been going on. We're now at 13 and a half months and I feel like now's the time to kind of knock all this on the head. No pun intended. Don't know how there would be a pun just because I'm talking about my head. Anyway, I thought, I'm not going to keep talking about my hair because it's basically sort of done, right? And you probably are watching these videos because you want to know information around hair transplants, how they work, how they heal, tips and things like that, and go through other people's experiences, which I totally get. So I'm not going to try and keep you interested by dropping little videos here and there which aren't of use. So I think this is possibly the last one that's going to be of any use to you. So what should we cover? I'll give you an update on the hair itself. I'll go through sort of what I talked through with my surgeon for my last checkup. I'll talk you through some of the products that I use. I'm not going to try and sell you anything, literally just going to tell you what I use. And finally, I'm going to try and cover off some of the questions that I get asked quite a lot. So let's start with the hair, right? Why not? So you can see, it's looking pretty good. That's looking great, isn't it? I've been letting it grow quite long. That's one of the things I always wanted was to have long hair. I want hair and I wanted to have long hair. So I've been letting it grow out. Got this nice natural curl to it, which I'm really enjoying. And I've just been having like a low fade every sort of 4 to 6 weeks and letting the top grow. But yeah, really enjoying having hair to play with, having hair to style, trying different products out, different ways of styling it. I did put in a centre parting just for a laugh and it looked awful. I look like, if you've seen the TV show Heartstopper, I look like Kid Tao. Terrible. But it was fun to kind of relive that 90s period, because in the 90s I did have that, proper curtains look. But yeah, trying all different styles, enjoying it, just enjoying it. That's it. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying being a man who has hair. It's great. In terms of my last update with my surgeon, so he just said to me, looks great. I wouldn't mess with it now. He said some people like to put more in. They like to come back later and have a second round and have extra thickness put in. But I would leave it because I think it looks good as it is. So the one thing he did say was that the crown takes a bit longer to finish than the rest. So the reason is like you've got more blood flow at this part of your head than this part of your head. So this part naturally heals and grows faster than this part. I'm going to show you the crown in a second. So hold on. But he said I've got about 10 to 15% more thickness to come in the crown. So can we get the crown in? There we go. So there's the crown. Now I'm actually perfectly happy with the way it looks. Oh, there we go. If I lean back, you can see it a bit better. But yeah, 10 to 15% more to come in that. But as I said to the surgeon, look, I didn't come into this wanting to have boy band hair. I'm 41 years old. I want the hair of a man my age who didn't go bald, and I think I have achieved that. The one thing that used to bother me about my crown is that I'd go to parties or whatever, go out with friends to the pub, and inevitably at some point someone would be tagging you in pictures, and there'd always be a picture of where I'm in the background, I'm looking the other way, and you can see the light bouncing off my head. That doesn't happen anymore, so that's more than enough for me. Also, I just find it a bit weird, like, okay, I get it, like, I was bald, I get it that you may be bald, and you want nice hair, but do you really need perfect hair? Like, wanting this thick hair of a 20-something-year-old? Why go through this procedure twice when you can spend that money on... I mean, I spent money on getting my teeth straightened. Like, I would rather do that with the extra money. Or get some Botox. Or just, like, a million other things you could do to make yourself feel good rather than just have, like, perfect hair and neglect the rest of your body. And that's no shade to anyone. Like, you do what you want with your money. But I'm not interested in poking more holes in my head. I'm not interested in going through a second round of shock loss and losing the hair that I've got just to try and come back a year later with even thicker hair. It's just not for me. If it's for you, go for it. So in terms of like products and things like that, I've steered away from sort of chemicals as best as I possibly can. So I've got this new hair. I want to look after it. I want to have it long term. So I've been using sort of natural shampoos from Lush. There's a nice avocado bar one, which is quite nice. There's also this really nice honey one. And there's this spray and conditioner called Hair Milk, I think. The combination of the honey shampoo and the hair milk leaves your hair smelling like some kind of delicious cinnamon baked bun or something. It's really nice. And they've got this other one called Ray Shea Souffle, which is more like a shea buttery oil one. So you put that very little in that. You put that in there for moisture. And they've got this one called Curl Power, which I've been putting in to help with the curls. But I've been using those because they're all natural ingredients and I just want to look after my hair. Every now and then I also put some VO5 hot oil in it just because I'm an 80s kid and I can't get that "don't be so mean to your hair" advert out of my mind. You know, and she pulls her hair down and it springs up in a little curl, and I can do that now. In terms of questions that I keep getting asked, so let's try and rattle through those. One of them is about, kind of relating back to the chemical thing, is do I use minoxidil? No, I don't. And look, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor. I will tell you why I don't, and you can decide whether or not that's rational, and you do what's right for you. As far as I'm aware, minoxidil helps the hair, like the follicle root or whatever it is, expands, so it allows more hair out. The problem with that is then if you stop using it, it contracts again and then it kills the hair. So in my mind, again, not a scientist, I don't want to encourage these hairs to come out thicker and then be stuck with having to use minoxidil every day or face them falling out again. Not interested. This is enough. And actually, yeah, it's quite a lot there. So I don't need more density. Not interested. Finasteride or Propecia, depending whether you use the branded expensive version or not. Yes, I have been taking that since, I don't know, I think it's well over 4 years now, I think. Pretty sure it's over 4 years. I started taking it when I first started losing my hair, or not when I first started losing it, when I first realised how much I'd lost. And it definitely stopped the hair loss in its tracks, and it reversed it a tiny bit, but not enough. Like already at that point, it had taken a big old chunk out. But I'm taking that because I want to make sure that any of the hair that was already there that didn't go stays. And again, I don't want to go through this procedure again. And I don't know how bald I'd go if I stopped using the finasteride. So I'd rather just maintain. For the surgery itself, so let's see. I had 3,000 grafts. I think it's about 2,000 at the front or 2,200 at the front, 800 at the back maybe. Not entirely sure. And yeah, that's for about 8 hours. It was in the UK. It was £2,000 for those who keep asking. I'm not going to tell the name of the place because I'm not here to advertise. If you want to know, you can message me. I'm not doing this for any other reason than educational and sharing what I've gone through with other people. I did look at going to Turkey. It was just before the pandemic kicked off that I was looking, so obviously that stopped everything. And it was only after we started coming out the first time round, so it was August last year, when I still wasn't comfortable travelling, looked in the UK and then found a place that's not very far from where I live that was competitive with Turkey, had great reviews, also had other people reviewing them on YouTube who had had the procedure. So I felt very comfortable doing that. But not knocking Turkey, I've seen fantastic work in Turkey, so you know, do what's right for you. I think those are the main things, right? People who ask about Minoxidil, Propecia, how many things, how much did it cost, and where. I think that pretty much covers it. All I would say, my last little bit of advice is, before you get this done, do your research, go look online. There's so much research online. Just prepare yourself for what's going to happen, because I still get a lot of people messaging me now saying they're really nervous because they're going through the ugly duckling phase or this, that and the other. And I was never nervous throughout the whole recovery period because I've looked up, I knew exactly what was going to happen going into it. I knew that it was going to look banging right at the start, and then it was all going to fall out and I was going to look like a dog with mange, and then it was all going to sort of look really shitty, and then all of a sudden it was spring into life between 4 and 6 months. I knew that. So the whole time when I sat with a really pink scalp, if you look back at the old videos, my really, really pink scalp looking like I've got mange, I never really got stressed or bothered about it because I knew that at some point down the line it was going to be done. And I think we are pretty done now, right? I'm well happy with this, honestly, guys. It's the best thing I've spent money on for me. You know, obviously my wedding day is the most important thing I've spent money on in my life. But for me, to self-care, you know, feeling good about myself, it is this. £2,000 to go from, oh actually, no, I'm going to put an old picture up. £2,000 to go from this to this. It's just the best investment you could make. Now, obviously, if you're unsure about it, then don't, right? But if you've been thinking about it and you're like, should I, shouldn't I? Or I want to, but I'm not sure because it's going to look bad for a while and blah, blah. Yes, it's going to look bad for a while. But you know what else is going to look bad for a while? The bald head that you're not happy with now, not you guys who have got bald heads and you're rocking it and you own it and you're amazing. But if you're not happy with your bald head now, you're still not going to be happy in a year's time. So why not just do the thing you've been teasing yourself about and just get it done, and in a year's time, this could be you too. I'm not going to make any money out of this, right? You decide whether you want to do it or not. I'm just telling you, I feel amazing. And it's not a confidence thing. I've always been a confident guy. I've always been like a strong public speaker and stuff like that. Always owned who I am. But you know what? It's just nice. It's nice to look in the mirror and go, oh yeah, that's good. Conversely, it's also really annoying when it just won't go the way you want it to. So, but you know, that's what styling products are for. So, that's my last bit of advice. If you've been thinking about it and you've got the money and you can afford it, do it. You will not regret it. Anyway, thanks for everyone who's been watching. Look, I won't be posting more about my hair unless something significant happens, which I doubt. But, you know, reach out to me if you've got any questions. Put them in the comments if you like. I don't really check the comments that often anymore because I'm not often on YouTube, but on my social media, like on my Instagram and stuff, like I'm always on there. So if you want to drop any questions in, I'm always happy to answer. I don't care if you go to the surgeon where I went or if you go somewhere else, go to Turkey. I'm just happy to share any experience and knowledge I've got because this has been transformative for me. Oh God, we're in 12 minutes, so there's probably nobody watching at this point. Tell you what, drop a comment if you're actually watching at this point. Brilliant. Thank you so much for everyone who watched. I mean, still subscribe if you like it. That'd be great. Still subscribe if you like, because I'm still going to do some videos and some other bits and bobs around things that make me feel good. So skincare and stuff like that for men. I think we don't treat each other or treat ourselves, as well as we should. And hair transplant's one of those things that makes me feel good. And there's a series of other things as well. So look, keep your eye out. But thanks very much for watching. And whatever you decide, hope you're happy. Good luck. Take care.